A lot of men think younger women naturally lean toward older men, and in many cases, that belief is true. But most older men ruin that advantage fast by making simple mistakes they never even notice. A younger woman may notice an older man for reasons that are very real. Age often brings calm, direction, patience, and emotional control. Older men usually know who they are. They have seen more, learned more, and made enough mistakes to stop acting careless. That kind of grounded energy can feel rare. It stands out fast. And in many cases, it gives older men a strong edge that younger men still have not developed. But this is where most older men quietly ruin their own advantage. They already have traits that can create real attraction, yet they use those traits in the worst possible way. I have seen men in their 40s, 50s, and beyond make the same mistakes over and over again. The pattern is almost always the same. They think age alone gives them value. Then they behave in ways that slowly destroy the interest they could have built. And when that happens, the problem is not just that attraction fades, that is only part of it. The bigger issue is that respect disappears first. Once respect is gone, the entire dynamic changes. She stops seeing you as someone she could feel drawn to. She starts seeing you differently. And once that shift happens, you rarely get another chance to show who you really are beneath the surface. That is the real issue most men never understand. Older men often already have what they need. They do not need to become someone else. They do not need to fake status, force charm, or pretend to be younger than they are. What they actually need is much simpler. They need to stop making the same common mistakes that quietly kill attraction. Most of the damage is not caused by age, it is caused by how they carry it. The first mistake is putting her on a pedestal too early. This happens fast. You meet a younger woman who is attractive, confident, and maybe a little hard to read. Suddenly, you feel pressure. You start thinking too much. You tell yourself not to mess it up. You assume she is above you. So without noticing it, your whole energy shifts. You stop being natural. You start performing instead of connecting. That is where the problem begins. The moment you place her above you, you place yourself below her. You become too agreeable, too careful, too polite in a way that feels forced. You filter every sentence. You stop speaking freely, and the conversation starts to lose life. It becomes flat, safe, predictable. There is no spark in that. There is no tension. And without tension, attraction fades before it even has room to grow. Women are not drawn to men who treat them like prizes. They are drawn to men who can meet them as equals. That is what creates balance. The moment you act like she is someone you must impress, your value drops fast. It sends one clear signal: insecurity. And insecurity kills attraction quicker than most men realize. Not because she expects perfection, but because she can feel when a man does not believe in himself. The better move is simple. Stop seeing women as people you need to win over. Talk to them like people. That is it. No pressure, no performance, no silent need for approval. When you stop attaching your worth to her reaction, your energy changes. You become calmer, more grounded, more real. And once you see her as a normal person instead of someone above you, confidence starts showing up naturally. The second mistake is reacting badly when she asks your age. It sounds small, but it matters more than most men think. She asks how old you are, and suddenly your body changes. Your tone shifts. Your face tightens. The confidence you had a moment ago starts slipping. That one reaction tells her more than your answer ever will. It tells her whether you are comfortable in your own skin or quietly ashamed of it. Age is rarely the real issue. Your relationship with your age is the issue. If you speak about it like it is a weakness, she will feel that. If you treat it like something awkward, she will read it the same way. But when you own it calmly, everything changes. Say it clearly. Say it with ease. If humor fits naturally, use it. But never explain too much. Never defend it. And never apologize for it. Confidence gives age strength. Hesitation makes it feel heavy. That is the difference. A man who is comfortable with his age makes it feel normal, even attractive. A man who reacts with discomfort turns the same number into a problem. The number matters less than the energy behind it. Always remember that. People do not just respond to facts, they respond to how you carry those facts when you speak about yourself. The third mistake is leading with money. A lot of older men think this is their strongest advantage, so they lead with it. They talk about income, business, property, lifestyle, and all the things they have built. Some try to impress by spending early. They think this creates attraction. It does not. It creates a transaction, and the moment that happens, the dynamic changes in a way most men never recover from. When money becomes your main selling point, you stop being a man and start becoming a role, a provider first, a person second. That attracts attention, but not always the kind you want. It pulls in people who care more about access than connection, more about comfort than chemistry. Let success reveal itself on its own. Let her notice it naturally. Your money should support who you are, not become your entire identity. The fourth mistake is acting like a mentor instead of a man she can feel chemistry with. This happens all the time. Older men start giving advice too early. They teach, they guide, they explain life. They offer lessons instead of energy, and while they do that, they hide all romantic intent. That is the mistake. The second you become the teacher, the tension starts disappearing, and without tension, attraction has nowhere to live. Experience matters. But attraction needs contrast. It needs play. It needs warmth. It needs a little tension and a little edge. If every conversation feels like a life lesson, the spark dies fast. Be relaxed. Be playful. Tease lightly. Let some flirtation exist early. Do not force it, but do not remove it either. The moment the tone becomes too instructional, the chemistry begins to flatten and disappear. The fifth mistake is trying too hard to look or sound young. This almost always backfires. Forced slang sounds forced. Trendy clothes that do not fit your personality feel unnatural. Trying too hard to act younger usually sends one message. You are not comfortable being the age you are. That is what she feels. And that discomfort says more than the clothes, the words, or the act ever could. Real confidence does not come from pretending time has not passed. It comes from being fully at ease with where you are now. Dress well, stay sharp, take care of your body, speak in your own voice. Be current, not fake. There is a difference. Your age is not something to hide. It is part of your advantage, but only when you stop trying to run from it and start wearing it well. The sixth mistake is talking too much about your achievements. Many older men turn conversation into a long list of things they have done: career wins, past success, status, credentials. They think this builds attraction. Usually it does the opposite. Attraction is not built through self-promotion, it is built through connection. The more a man tries to prove his value out loud, the less secure he often appears underneath. Let those things come up naturally. They matter more when they are discovered than when they are announced. Stay present. Ask better questions. Listen closely. Pay attention. A man who is truly confident does not need to keep reminding people of his worth. They feel it without the speech. They notice it in his presence, in his calm, in the way he carries himself when he has nothing to prove. The seventh mistake is ignoring physical presence. Experience helps, but it does not replace presentation. You do not need to look young, but you do need to look sharp. Grooming matters. Clothes that fit matter. Basic fitness matters. These things signal discipline. They signal self-respect. They signal control. And people notice that immediately. The way you carry your body speaks long before your words ever get the chance to. At the center of all these mistakes is one deeper problem. Too many men never fully own who they are. That is the real issue. Younger women are not looking for perfection. They are not searching for a flawless man. They are drawn to confidence, to steadiness, to authenticity, to a man who is comfortable in his own skin and does not need constant approval to feel solid. So stop apologizing for who you are. Stop trying so hard to prove your value. Stop shrinking your strengths by carrying them the wrong way. Own your age, own your presence, own your life. Because when a man truly does that, attraction changes, respect changes, his whole life changes. And that shift begins the moment he finally stops asking for permission to be exactly who he is.